Brandon, I want to ask you first of all about the connection with Zach Smith this year. I know it's the first year on varsity for you being the quarterback and Zach being the wide receiver, but I guess you guys go back a few years.
Yeah, definitely. We've been playing together since we were 6, 7, 8 years old, and I've always been a quarterback. He's always been a receiver, and I know at that age he really wasn't throwing the ball that much, but especially when we got into middle school and freshman year and stuff, we developed that connection early, and then this summer, just the things we did in the off season is really the reason why we've had the success we've had this year. We don't just go out there on Friday nights and just throw the ball around to each other on coincidence. It's because of the work we've put in throughout our lives, but especially this off season and this summer.
Now, your team had 2 close calls early in the season with Dallastown and Spring Grove. You managed to pull both of those games out. What were the things you learned from those games?
Well, obviously you don't want close games if you don't have them. I mean, those are things that we were obviously upset that they were that close, but in the end, it's actually a very good thing that those things happened, because it gave us adversity, a lot of adversity, and adversity is what you're going to face when you hit championship games like this Friday and into the playoffs. You need to be able to just find ways to win, grind it out, because it's not always going to be perfect every single game, every single play, and that adversity in those 2 games, I think, is going to be huge for us when we hit championship games like this Friday and the playoff run here, just where we've shown that we can just find ways to win, grind it out, and that 1-0 is all that matters at the end of the night. It doesn't have to be pretty, but 1-0 is all that matters to us.
One thing I have to ask you about, in the spring when I watched you play baseball, you were a left-handed pitcher, but you throw a football with your right hand. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, it's wild, I know, but I'm not really sure how it happened. I know that I think I am right-hand dominant, but my dad was a left-handed pitcher, so I think maybe that has something to do with it, me throwing left-handed. But I mean, I know it's wild, and it helps me a lot. I mean, that's why I was able to do a lot of things for football was in the off season during the spring and stuff, because I can go in there, throw 100 passes in the morning with the football, and it's not going to hurt my left arm to go out and throw the baseball that afternoon. So it actually really helped me.
Along with your passing numbers, you have a significant number of rushing yards. Now, are there certain plays designed for you, or is it a case maybe where something breaks down and you get rushing yards?
Most of the times I run the ball is a design zone read, which means we read a D end or a D lineman or an outside backer, and I'm reading, and I'm either keeping it or giving it to a running back. I think the only game that I actually just play broke down and I ran was the York High game. I ran a lot on some pass plays, but most of the time I do run, it is a design play for design zone read for me to read a D end and whether I pull it or give it.
I don't have to tell you, you guys have a big game coming up Friday night with Northeastern. What are the keys for West York to win this game?
I think the keys for us are just obviously being prepared, knowing our jobs, and that's always the biggest thing for us. Just do your job. Do your job. We have a great coaching staff here who's going to put us in the right places to be able to make plays and do the right thing, and obviously just come out and play with a lot of passion, a lot of love for the game, and just doing your job. I mean, you got to be excited for these type of games. It's a championship game, and that's why you work for all year round for games like this. Championship games, you just go out and get a chance to make it 6 straight Division II championships, and that's all we're looking to do.
Ready, go!